Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with both Brian and Slothy. Slothy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Had a nice week of lots of overtime, so going to be looking good on the paycheck. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I wish I got paid for any overtime. That would be just lovely. Good old salary. I just work. That's all it seems to be. Just work, and then more work.
Fun times.
Yeah, hopefully it wasn't too bad of a week, though, while you're doing the overtime. And Brian, how are you doing?
Oh, I can't really complain. This week went by pretty quick. I only had the Sunday off like last week, so it was a long week, but it went by pretty quick. I actually got out to play some Magic on last night, and I played a stream game with One More Game MTG, Chris over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did they kill Brian first?
We all died, in all honesty. Both games.
There you go.
I was a problem in the second game. My orcs were putting in work.
The orc deck seems really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I did end up picking up a little bit of the set, and I did get some more fire for it. So, well, there's a lot of non-creature cards that came out.
How was cracking this set?
Do you know what? Like, I don't think, like, at first glance that I pulled anything that made me go, like, wow, like, I pulled that. The thing that I was happy about was a curiosity.
Nice.
Could always use card draw. I'm not going to bat an eye at that one. I did get the really cool art Omniscience, so I'm not going to lie. But, like, I was more excited, I think, going back through my second time and rereading everything.
There was a shocking amount of cards from the set that turned out to be good.
A lot of really good reprints.
Yeah, a lot of great reprints. And for no reason. Literally no reason whatsoever to reprint them and put them there. We just came off of a massive reprint set that was massively overpriced. And then they just, in the beginning of that set coming out, announced, you know what? We're going to reprint better cards in the next one. Doubling Season, one of the chase cards in Commander Masters, it's going to be in here too. Why not?
Yep. Hardened Scales. Like, the amount of doubling that was in this deck, because we had Hardened Scales, we have Doubling Season, we have Primal Vigor as well.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that one was reprinted again. That's silly.
I was looking through this morning, and I noticed that and it's going to change, but the version of Doubling Season from this set has brought it down to like $36 US.
Oh, it sure has. I've put a bunch of them aside.
Nice.
Buying Doubling Seasons at under $40 is pretty wild, and that's another one that I got so many cracking back in the day when I cracked, because I don't really crack good, but I crack a lot, so quantity over quality, right?
Yeah,
but
when you open that much, you're guaranteed to get something eventually.
Yeah, but I haven't been.
Don't say that with those surreal cards out here. Like,
I haven't been cracking packs in a long time. Like, I've been just really going hard on singles, and part of going hard on singles is realizing that, like, yeah, I'm not buying a Doubling Season at 120, 130. I have got other ones. Maybe I'll just take them out of other decks, right? There's been so much, and seeing Doubling Season so high for so long is a bummer. And then now we see it all come down. It's again with the cool. Obviously, I love the Goose artwork. Everyone knows I love the Goose artwork. Everyone, you know.
I got you the Goose Hydra, Dan.
The Mother Goose. Honk, 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 honk. It's going to be obnoxious to play. I'm just going to yell honk the whole game. No one's going to have fun but me.
I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah,
right?
At least you're having fun, though.
Exactly. That's really all that matters. Me doing that deck list, there is no Gotha Goose in here. Shockingly, I know. Yeah, right.
Hey, what?
But no, they put a ton of crazy stuff in it. I've been kind of not interested in buying the precons lately. I was pretty clear on my thoughts about the last one. I didn't like it. They were pretty high priced for what they weren't. But this fairy one looks really cool. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They were really high priced for decks that weren't good. They didn't warrant the price.
Yeah, they needed a lot of tuning just to be playable.
Well, and that's my thought process, right? I could have got the Sliver deck for the Rucka Ramel. Or I could have just bought the Rucka Ramel card, which wasn't that expensive. Exactly. Yep. See, Slothy gets it. And if you didn't have Sliver decks, you wanted to upgrade and get a Sliver deck, great starting point. But
absolutely.
But for me, I would have just been upgrading 2 decks instead of just like buying the cards I wanted for the one deck, so it didn't make sense. But the face commanders of the Wilds of Eldraine stuff actually look shockingly not that bad. Shockingly pretty good. I really, really like playing fairies. So the fact that there's a fairy one, we're talking Wilds of Eldraine spoilers today, because today's technically the release day thing.
Yeah, it's
last night, whatever.
It's the weekly release.
Yeah, exactly. But let's jump in and just talk about some of these commander deck cards. We'll start with Alila Cunning Conqueror. It's two a blue and a black, a 2/4 fairy warlock. You're really starting to see warlock be more of a tribe that comes out lately, and that's kind of interesting.
Those warlocks are the best.
It makes sense, right? Yeah. It was just an underplayed group for a long time.
You throw Repulsion Blast on that, and you go. Bing.
I don't know what any of that means.
You were mentioning you're playing a warlock in Baldur's Gate right now.
Oh, buddy, it's so much fun.
Nice.
But yeah, warlocks are just a great class. I would actually build around them if you could truly build a warlock trap.
If you get more, yeah. I love fairies. The chance, first off, some of the best artwork that ever came out is that the stuff around the time of Una, like the shadows. Not shadows. What's that set?
Shadowmoor.
Yeah, Shadowmoor. Those kind of lands. And there's just so many nice panoramic ones. And I love building fairy decks all the time because I have to fill it with those lands. It's fun to go try to find those specific lands for those decks.
I've bought that fairy enchantment. Bitter Blossom. I've seen so many in like the heavily played binders and stuff like that for like a relatively cheap price. So I've been picking them up.
You what?
Yeah.
There's cheap Bitter Blossom somewhere? Give me that.
Yeah.
I love Bitter Blossom. It's one of my favorite cards.
Oh yeah, like I've been seeing a lot of them out at the game stores. Like if you go to Phoenix's and just ask for the heavily played binder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gonna go.
Yeah. So this new Alila is.
They even have some Howling Mines.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, old man. This is a flying 2/4. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, you create a 1/1 black fairy creature, fairy rogue creature token flying. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, go target creature that player controls.
Oh, get out of here.
Obviously building this annoying garbage because I say it all the time. You can build annoying decks that are full of counterspells and toxic things to you know what I mean? Like just to be annoying in other players' turns. But then you get attacked by those other players. You eventually don't have the blockers. But this just lets me sit there and I can stack a deck. It's the same reason I want to build the Nazgul deck. That I can just stack it with like I can just power stack with I've got the ability to just goad already. I'm making flyers, which is stupid. That's just dumb that I'm getting 1/1 flyers on being annoying. Because that's how you're gonna do it. You're gonna unsummon, counterspell, essence scatter, force of will, just nonsense stuff. Every turn. Everyone's turn gets one of my cards.
Yeah.
Right?
I already see the thumbnail for this episode. There's Daniel in the middle, and then me and Slothy slapped all the sides.
I'm looking good, but yeah, this is definitely one that you'll be seeing. I was going to say something stupid, but I won't. Piece those self insult together, all you guys want. Yeah, no, I would. I'm going to be building this one for sure. It's just really good, and I think again, it's obviously one of the ones in the fairy precon. I don't think it's the face commander.
No, that one's not.
I find it weird that they throw a mythic and a precon.
They throw lots.
Like to me, a mythic, but to me, a mythic rare is something that should be very hard to get. And to get a mythic rare and a precon, just like how rare is it?
Still pretty rare because you can still get other ones. Yeah, it's not the face commander. The face commander is also cool. Mm-hmm. Really, really cool. I really like that face commander. Yeah, I'm gonna build a deck around this, probably one or two because. This also enables you to build budget garbage, and I'm nothing if not someone who currently loves building budget garbage. I love going through the boxes I have right now and just finding annoying cards. And I've really been enjoying a lot of the after playing standard stuff. I know I'm really, really ranting about this here, but like playing like your Case the Joints, your shore ups, all those kind of cards that you see more and more in like this, in Arena. I've got a new love for a lot of those cards, so this is a great spot to put these cheap set garbage.
Chairman, if you're listening, we need you for your budget.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I'm going to take this one
enough of
because
Alila, please.
I pulled a Orzhov commander that I'm going to build. So this Angelic Destiny.
That's not a new card, you
white.
lunatic. But
Is
go
it
ahead
a
and read
reprint?
it. Yeah, it is. It's a good reprint though.
Can I skip this?
You can still read it and then read the next one too.
Wow, sounds good. We got Angelic Destiny, 2/2 white, enchantment aura. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4 and has flying and first strike and is an angel in addition to its other types. When Enchanted Destiny dies, return Angelic Destiny to its owner's hand.
Yeah, Angelic Destiny's crazy.
Yeah, I really like that it bounces itself again.
Yep.
Brazen is also a reprint. Go to Bernard.
Then we got this Bernard guy here, the Ginger Sculptor. Whoops, I gotta shuffle on down for all the viewers. So he is 1 green, white, blue legendary creature, human artificer. Each creature you control that's a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 food golem artifact creature in addition to its other types. And it has pay 2, tap it, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life.
That's a very weird color set for these to be in.
I was going to say, man, that's going to be one beefy thing, but that ore fixes it.
The Bant Reanimator is very weird.
The Ginger Bant, man.
I like that. There's a lot of cards that are whenever you, like a creature you control dies, you can pay 2 to put it back in your hand. So you can make a food army pretty easy, but it's just such weird colors to put this in here. Oh, you do exile it?
Yeah. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it.
That's even weirder.
That's what my Salty Bones does.
Yeah, but your Salty Bones does it better.
Yeah.
Those are just making food.
Yeah, right? I love the art on this next one.
Yeah. Do you want to take
Alphavira?
Do you want the one after it?
I want the one after it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. I'll take this, but I think it's just because none of us can pronounce his name. Elivir? Elivere? Who knows? Elivir of the Wild Court. We're going to go with that. 2, a green and a white. 4/4 human knight. Whenever that card enters the battlefield or attacks, you create a virtuous roll attached to another target creature you control. It's if you control another roll, I'm going to put that into the graveyard, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the rolls are. We got to look all those up. And whenever an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Again, pretty simple aura themed commander, but also one that's generating auras on enter and attack. I should look at what those let me look at what the rolls are quickly so we can try. I'll have the roll chiefs.
I know what the next ones are if that helps at all.
1 second here. I just want to. It's a lot of these rolls. Wow, that's too many. Too many.
Is there an episode just on rolls?
Yeah, probably, to be totally honest. What was the virtuous?
Virtuous is +1/+1 for each enchantment you control.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Pardon?
So this makes a mini Ancestral Mask every time you attack or enter with this card?
Yeah.
That's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
And again, doubling season them up kind of thing.
Oh, buddy.
Where is what are they? I still cannot find. This is not a good set release. Oh, okay. Virtuous is only in the commander. All right. Now, okay, we're good. I found my cheat sheet. We're good to go. Slothy, please. Oh, for the love. Yeah.
So this next one is one I am ridiculously excited for. Favorite color pairing relating to something that I went to university for. It is Gilwain Casting Director. 2/3 legendary human bard for 1 green white. Whenever it or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can choose one, create a royal roll attached to that creature, a sorcerer roll attached to that creature, or a monster roll. So the royal roll is phenomenal. It is +1/+1 and ward 1. The sorcerer roll is +1/+1, and whenever it deals combat damage, you can scry 1.
Whenever it attacks, scry 1.
Or whenever it attacks, scry 1. And monster roll is +1/+1 and trample. And I love it. It kind of a bit of a drawback. You can only put 1, to my knowledge, you can only put 1 on a creature per player.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
But still, I think the royal roll is amazing.
I think you saw my brain just going silly with the Panharmonicon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Panharmonicon and doubling.
Yeah. So it's kind of makes sense that it's nice that you can only get one roll, because it could be a little silly, but that's great utility.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield.
Or itself. So if you're doing again, even in this, like with that last card, the Elevir, you're just ETB generating tokens, which is auras, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what these are. They're aura tokens.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, like Gilwain's coming in as a 3/4 for 3 with that ability. And then either ward 1, you can scry, or it's got trample.
Yeah, that's actually really well statted.
And the art is amazing.
It is really cool looking artwork for sure.
I like he's handing out little hats.
That's the crown.
I like that. A lot of people didn't like the next one. Do you want this, Brian, so you can...
Yeah, I'll take this one. We got Corvold, the Gleeful Glutton. 5, black, red, green. Legendary creature, Dragon Noble. It's a fancy one. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each card type among permanents you've sacrificed this turn. Flying, trample, haste. Whenever Corvold deals combat damage to a player, put X +1/+1 counters on Corvold and draw X cards, where X is the number of permanent types among cards in your graveyard.
Not bad.
This is very much like an artifact creature, enchantment creature. What is that? Urza's Saga land, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's I don't know how many permanent types there are off the top of your head, but it is on combat damage. So anything that you can give that's a double strike, or you've got red, so you've got extra combats. It's pretty expensive, sure, but at the same point, you're going to be able to this commander goes really, really well with the background stuff, right? So the things where whenever you attack, you get like +X/+O if it's the biggest creature. You get indestructible in 1/1 because it's you're drawing X cards. So any extra combat, any double strike is gonna realistically, a lot of times you're gonna be able to hit. You're gonna put like 5 counters or 4 counters on it, draw 4 cards, then hit again, put 4 more counters on it, draw 4 more cards. So like 8 per combat if you have a double striking out kind of thing. It's costed high for a reason.
Yeah. And realistically, in those colors, it's not going to be difficult.
No, you're playing green.
Yeah.
You're playing green, but you also just have the ability to you sacrifice a treasure. This brings it down to a 7. You sack a creature, which you're in black. So that's like a pretty easy path to go down. You're down to 5 cost, or a 6 cost. That's
yeah. And like Baba's Saga, I feel like would be really good in this deck. I was mentioning to Brian before. It gives you the sack outlet and incentivizes you to sacrifice 3 different things, which brings it down to a 6.
Well, and if you fetched land early, right? Like you could realistically get this out pretty early. But even if you can't, even if you raw cast this, Flying Trample Haste has a big payoff already, and trample on a commander that's already generating 1/1 counters in the colors that matter about 1/1 counters. And I could see Corvold being shockingly strong. A lot of people, I think, are underestimating this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
We also have Tegwil, which is the face commander of the fairy one. Duke of Splendor. 1, a blue, a black for a 2/3 flying death toucher. Awesome. Other fairies you control get 1/1. Awesome. And when another fairy you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life, and none of that nonsense once a turn stapled onto it. Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah,
this is the fairy precon's one I'm definitely gonna have to pick up. It's just it's got all of what I want for a deck like that. I didn't really like the last Dimir one that I can think of really is the Rogue one with Anwan. Meh, for that one. A lot of people really liked it, but it was okay.
Everyone had it.
I guess
that's the only reason we all talked at once. What happened there?
I think we all kind of said the same thing in a different way.
Yeah, but this one, I really, really like fairy themed decks. It's any spot that I can stuff Una, Queen of the Fae, it's going in.
Absolutely.
Right? So this is a very, very cool one. Very, very cool one. Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure build this one as well. Build it out. Slothy, you want this next one?
Yeah. This next one is also one from the fairy decks. Archmage of Echoes. 4 and a blue for a 4/4 fairy wizard with flying and ward 2. Whenever you cast a fairy or wizard permanent spell, copy it.
What?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
It's really good.
I'm curious, how many fairies are there?
So many. But it's more than fairies. It's wizards.
Yeah.
And
two of the most played tribes.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also anytime you have a changeling theme deck, that's going to trigger. If you're doing like a Ruck or Ramel, my Ruck or Ramel is a wizard deck, so it's obviously got to go in. I love Inala.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm really happy that they reprinted this Archon and the Bear Umbra.
Oh, Bear Umbra's so good.
Yeah, I need to get some. I think the Blightwing, right, is this next one?
Yeah, you go ahead with that one.
So we have Blightwing Bandit, 3 and a black. Creature, fairy, rogue, flying, death touch. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. 2/2.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of these.
I love this. This is so cool. It goes perfectly with that other commander pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel says you say it's so cool until someone does it to you, and then you lose your mind.
Can't be done to me. I won't stand for it. But when I do it, it's all good. I'm helping everyone else play.
You're just playing their cards for them.
Yeah, it's group hug. I'm playing it for them. I'm giving them the mana to cast it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then getting the ability of me casting it. But I'm still helpful.
It's for that.
As long as it remains exiled too. So again, if you're building into like that Lord of Nazgul garbage style like I want to do so badly, you can't find that card anywhere, by the way. I had to order that card from the it's on my list of like things for that Dean's ordering. Like I can't find that card anywhere.
Oh wow.
I think I might have it.
Oh, everyone wants that card right now because again, it's pretty stupid ability. It's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this fairy one also might be more fun because I just love a place to put Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, absolutely.
The new court cycle.
Enchantment.
Yeah, the new court cycle, insane. They're so good. Every single one of them. I love the Monarch mechanic. It's so good for Commander.
Absolutely.
Love the blue one.
Yeah, we start with Court of Ardenvale, 2 double white. When it enters, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you're the Monarch, return it to the battlefield instead. That's great. I love that card.
Sun Titan.
Yeah, exactly. A Sun Titan to hand at worst and to field at best. That's great. Great for your even in just mono white. The fact that you can just bring back any of your normal fetches if you want, like anything that's going to fetch or tutor you a land.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very true too.
Yeah, you can sit there and Ash Barrens nonstop with this card out. Right? I would use it to ramp in colors that can't really ramp, but I also love a lot of really low CMC kind of decks. Slothy, you want this red one?
Yeah. We've got the Court of Embereth. 2 double red. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 3/1 red knight creature token. Then if you're the Monarch, Court of Embereth deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of creatures you control.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
token generation.
I kind of wish I didn't. I wish I didn't take apart my Ovika deck now.
Yeah, right. Token generation already pretty cool.
Yeah,
I would be happy. I would play this just for that 4 mana every upkeep or every beginning of your upkeep. Make your 3/1 red knight. That's awesome. But then that random power lightning bolt of fury to each opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. If you're in a token based deck, you're not going to lose the Monarch because they're not getting through all your creatures. You'll throw it away for nothing. So
yeah.
And please, my 31/31 goblin.
And again, a 3/1 is a big token.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at least taking out one other creature most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's at least making you think twice before swinging into that field of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want this green one here, Brian?
I'm almost ready to let you guys take these two. I just want that blue one.
Sure, I'll take the green one. Court of Garenbrig is 1 double green. When it enters, you become the Monarch, obviously. Beginning of your upkeep, distribute 2/1/1 counters among up to 2 target creatures. That's so good because I live the group hug life and I can do it to opponents as well. So it's great in those kind of decks to just buff other things. It brings Monarch into the game. It does that. But shorter than that, in any deck that cares about counters, like a Kyler deck, where I just put one of those together. Even the old Tanazir, like Shalai and Halar. Tanazir is Boros, I call it my basically Boros deck. It's the blue-green Elder from Strixhaven. Number one, that's already great. Just 3 mana, put 2 counters on 1 or 2 creatures every turn. Phenomenal. And then if you're the Monarch, double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. Yeah, that's cracked. This is like Hydra deck. This is just begging you to go start building Hydras. Like, this is like Polokranos is like screaming in the background, like, build me, build me, build me.
And Shalyn Halar, that's like death on board.
Yep, that's disgusting. Yeah. Again, just the fact that a lot of you put this in an Atraxa deck, right? Every upkeep, you're able to just get your 2/1/1 counters out across other creatures to proliferate with Atraxa. The big weakness of Atraxa is she can't proliferate if there's no counters, right?
Yep.
She doesn't auto-generate her counters, but this is awesome. And then you just get the doubling if you're the Monarch, which while you have your 30/30 flying death touch lifelinker with vigilance, you often are. I love it. But yeah, all of these, I love introducing Monarch in like just in group hug kind of things. And I would play this in a group hug kind of setting, so it speaks to me on a deep level.
I know, like one of the play groups at Ogres, they have a house rule that they just start with Monarch in the game.
It's not bad.
But it doesn't trigger on the first time round. It's the second time or something like that.
It could also,
so you don't get the advantage of 2 cards off the bat.
It could also be fun too to just have whoever goes last be Monarch.
Actually, I think that's what happens.
Yeah. Okay,
that could be nice.
Sorry, that actually, that you're right. That's the ruling. So whoever is the last person, so it's not such a feel bad moment.
That's not too bad. I like that.
I'd play that.
Monarch's just super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the black one, the Court of Lochthwain. 2 double black. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of target opponent's library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. If you're the Monarch until end of turn, you may cast a spell from among cards exiled with Court of Lochthwain without paying its mana cost.
That's wicked.
That is...
Pair that with the other card.
Yeah, pair that with the other one. And
or any of them, actually.
Yeah.
Prosper.
Do you know who that's going in? You could probably rebuild the precon from the Phyrexian one, that exile stuff. As long as you got 3 or more infect counters on everybody.
Nah. I don't like when other people exile my stuff. That's not fun.
That's doing it anyways.
Exiling other people's stuff, great time. Love it. Having a great time enjoying myself. The blue one is pretty insane. I know why you wanted it, obviously. Take it away, please.
I actually pulled 2 of these, so I was very happy. So we got Court of Vantress, 2 and 2 blue. When Court of Vantress enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose up to 1 other target enchantment or artifact. If you're the Monarch, you may create a token that's a copy of it. If you're not the Monarch, you may have Court of Vantress become a copy of it, except it has this ability.
Turbo Estrid's Invocation.
That's awesome.
Basically, I would just have everything, like all the other copy enchantments, all the other things that copy enchantments come into play as a Court of Vantress.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely very, very good.
All my Court of Vantresses become doubling seasons.
That's gross. We also have this Fairy Blade Crafter, 2 and a black for a 2/2 Fairy Rogue. Whenever 1 or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. And when Fairy Blade Crafter dies, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life where X is its power. I like that.
Yeah. This is Giant Inheritance. That's a new one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really cool art, too.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy that. It's a 4 and a green. It's an aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +5/+5. And whenever this creature attacks, create a monster roll attached up to 1 target attacking creature. Then when Giant Inheritance is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
I really like the rancoring of these auras.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The next one, its art is so silly. It's the Knick-Knack Oof, if you want that one, Brian.
Before we do that, I love the reprint of Hall of Heliod's Generosity.
That's a really good reprint, yep.
Yes, sorry.
With Heliod in the back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really, really cool reprints that are being in here, like the Hullbreak Horror. That's a great one.
Yeah.
The Concordant Crossroads, too.
Yeah, your Kindred Dominance Concordant Crossroads. Where?
Not Concordant Crossroads, sorry. The
I thought we were getting a Concordant Cross. I almost lost my mind.
Daybreak
Brian.
Coronet, sorry, my bad.
Daybreak Coronet, very different card, but very cool card.
So we got the Knick-Knack Paddywhack, Give a Dog a Bone, the Knick-Knack Oof, X and green, it's a creature Oof. Knick-Knack Oof enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. When Knick-Knack Oof enters the battlefield, reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of aura cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield, then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of your library in random order. Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good mana sink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. The art reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, it's really cool looking artwork. It brings me back to childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this core Spirit Dancer is a reprint.
That one,
or is it?
It is, I believe.
Why do I never play core Spirit Dancer? It's definitely. Oh no, it is. I do play it. It's just different artwork. That makes more sense. I was like, I don't play this card. I should.
You guys are talking about that? Yeah, this artwork, please. You were about to say it.
Which one? Oh, I just think it's cool.
The Liberated Livestock?
Yeah, that one's a weird one. And the card is weird. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a cat bird ox, a 4/6/5 colorless and a white. When liberated livestock dies, create a 1/1 white cat with lifelink, a 1/1 white bird with flying, a 2/4 white ox creature token. For each of those tokens, you may put an aura card from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield. Attach it. It just is kind of weird.
It's very situational, it seems.
If you can cheat it out, and then again, you got to cheat it out, and then it has to die. It feels like, based on the list that I've seen so far, this looks like one I would be cutting.
Yeah,
I just
probably.
If you had this as when it enters or leaves the battlefield, it does that. That would be cool, and I would play that because I'm about blinking all day. But this is just it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird ability.
Like, I could see it being in again a token deck, so you're doubling up on those tokens, but you have just weird tokens.
Yeah, but then you have to be an aura themed token deck for it to make sense. It doesn't,
That's very true.
Yeah.
I really like this one. Yeah, I like the artwork. It's super cool looking.
Slothy, it's your turn.
Sure. Next up we've got Loamcrafter Fawn, 2 and a green for a 3/3 Satyr Druid. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard one or more land cards. When you do, return up to that many non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really good. It's really good
in
a deck that's like full of lands or lands from the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
The flavor text is so funny. Give me just a moment. I need to grow us a new bridge.
I like that.
Is the Malleable Imposter this next new one?
Yeah.
So Malleable Imposter, 3 and a blue, fairy shapeshifter, flash flying. You may have Malleable Imposter enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a fairy shapeshifter in addition to its other types and has flying.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
The Mantle of the Ancients artwork on the reprint is really cool.
Yeah.
But I love a good mana rock, and Misleading Signpost is definitely that for me. 2 and a blue. It has flash. It has tap to add a blue. But in between those two abilities, it has, when Misleading Signpost enters the battlefield during the declare attacker step, you may reselect which players or permanent target attacking creature is attacking.
This is going to be hilarious in Brago.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Where you can just keep blinking it in and out.
Yeah.
I just like that a lot. Somebody wants to go silly on me, and then I send it somewhere else. My favorite is a situation like this where you can redirect combat after people have made a political deal at the table to not kill each other to deal with you. So Brian says, Slothy, I can't kill Daniel, but don't worry, if you can take him out of the game, we're good to go, and we can team up on player 3. Slothy goes to attack me. I'm Misleading Signpost him at Brian, and now he has no ally, and he's made me angry. I love it.
And Brian dies first.
I love it. And Brian does die first.
We were playing a game yesterday, and the guy kept attacking me because one of the other players had like an obnoxious amount of 1/1 death-touching snakes.
Okay.
So this would have been hilarious to send all of his creatures back at the snakes.
Yeah, it's funny. You can't make them attack themselves, sadly.
Right? That'd be super funny. Please, U-turn.
Mirror Force.
So this one, Nettling Nuisance, 2 and a black, fairy rogue flying. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, that player creates a 4/2 red pirate creature token with this creature can't block. The token is goaded for the rest of the game at 3/1.
I think that's a cool one.
Man, fairies are going to be super annoying.
Yeah, these, like I said, this is back to what I like to see in a deck, because a lot of these just look really fun. A lot of these new cards fit a great theme.
I have a problem now.
Oh.
These fairies have feathered wings. Are these harpies?
To be honest,
What's
that's
going
kind of
on
what it looks like.
Fairies supposed to have like those insect type of wings.
And Una reprint, beautiful. You'll love to see it.
Right?
I love this card. I'm going to take this next one. The Ox Drover. We've got 3 and a white for a human peasant 4/4 vigilance. Ox Drover can't be blocked by oxen. Love it. When Ox Drover enters or attacks, love those abilities. Target opponent creates a 2/4 white ox creature token, and you draw a card. I really like this.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I would run this as a group hug card. Again, I'm gonna just give people oxes to block. Bloxes.
The Bloxen.
Yeah, Bloxen. I like that one a lot. Yeah, again, like you're just looking, I'm scrolling through this again. We've got our Perplexing Test. We've got a Rankle. We've got Reflections of Lajara. These are phenomenal reprints.
Scion of Una.
Again, Retether, Rishkar's Expertise, a Sanctum Weaver. These are just really good. A Citizen Champion. These are out of the box, look well built.
Shall I Voice of Plenty? Please, I need more. I
really like that Songbird's Blessing card. We talked about that before. Or no, we didn't. That was, I talked about it on Instagram. Someone take Shadow Puppeteers, and then I'll take Songbird's Blessing.
Sure. We got Shadow Puppeteers. 6 and a blue for a 4/4 Fairy Wizard with Flying and Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 black Fairy Rogue creature tokens with Flying. And whenever a creature you control with Flying attacks, you may have it become a red dragon with base power and toughness 4/4 in addition to his other colors and types until end of turn.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
See, these fairies have the normal wings.
Again, though, this drops in at 7. It brings in 2 1/1s. So it's 6 power on board already. But then on its first attack, that 6 is 12 attacking power for 7 mana with Flying Ward 2. That's very strong.
Yeah.
But it's also nice that this doesn't have to attack. So you can drop this as a game ender with your field of fairies and just be like, okay, I swing 10 fairies at you. It's 40 damage of dragons. Suck it.
I thought there was a fairy deck, not a dragon deck.
Yeah. I really like that a lot.
One of the things that I like most about this card is that it's not target. Creature becomes a 4/4.
Yeah, just however many.
That's the big thing for me.
Yeah, you may choose.
Yeah.
Also a Sword of Temptation reprint is phenomenal because I love that artwork. I love all of the artwork around that time.
The Secluded Glen. As Secluded Glen enters the battlefield, you may reveal a fairy card from your hand.
Yeah, that's a reprint too.
Oh, is it? Okay. I just haven't seen it before.
Oh, it's in my Una deck. It's a beautiful card. I love it.
Beautiful art. Yeah.
Protected by Glamours and Gao, Glen Elendra harbors the elusive Una, Queen of the Fae. It's definitely in that deck. I love it. Secluded Den's great. I really like the Songbird's Blessing, though. It's 3 and a white. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature attacks, reveal the top card of your library until you reveal an aura. You may put that card onto the battlefield. If you don't put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. This is going to roll into Eldrazi Monument more than once, and it's going to be disgusting.
Or Eldrazi Conscription?
Whatever one. I don't think it's Conscription. What's the...
Monument's the, was it +1/+1 flying and indestructible for all your
creatures. Eldrazi Aura. What is that card? Eldrazi Conscription, yes. That's the one.
Or you're thinking gross.
Yeah, a casual roll it into 8 mana. Free. I really like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many auras in an aura deck you don't want on the battlefield, so. And it's pretty cool that if you want to save that aura for something else, you may put that card onto the battlefield. You don't even have to put it on the creature you attack with. So you can slot something up that's a nonsense card that you don't want. Like, people aren't going to waste their removal on like a Llanowar Elf, right? And my Llanowar Elf can be a Songbird's Blessing and just keep bringing me things. Are you gonna...
Unless it's Daniel.
Are you gonna blow it up now? Yeah, I'll what did I Aetherflux it? Yeah.
You Aetherfluxed Len.
I also have to take this next one because it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Tegwill's Scouring, 4 double black for a sorcery. You can cast it as though it had flying, or as though it had flash. By tapping 3 untapped creatures you control with flying in addition to paying its cost. So again, easy in this deck. Destroy all creatures, create 3 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens with flying. Your season has ended. We are eternal. What a nuts card.
That's awesome.
These are really, really cool cards. I didn't have this feeling looking at the pre-con spoilers for Commander Masters, to be honest.
Not at all.
No.
The people in the background just burning in that blue flames.
Right? It's a really, and the artwork is just beautiful artwork. Like they really knocked it out of the park with these Tegwell ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the next one is a card there's no chance for it to stay low priced at all.
No. Next one. Bonkers.
The throne?
Yeah, it's nuts. There's so many people are like, oh, well, it's situational. It's not situational. In every deck that you could run this in, it's a good to run.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Throne of Eldraine, 5 colorless. Legendary artifact as Throne of Eldraine enters the battlefield. Choose a color. Tap it, add 4 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to cast mono-colored spells of that color. Pay 3, tap it, draw 2 cards, spend only mana of the chosen color to activate this ability. Yeah.
A 3 mana, draw 2 cards is really good. There's no downside to that. Forget every other part of it. Just that's it. You pick whatever color you have in a green deck, especially, but a tap to add 5 of, oh no, you can only cast a monocolored spell. So every monocolored deck is going to want this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's really good.
Like I can cast I would probably have out my Elishnor before I have this Eldraine, but
yeah, it'd be gross though. Well, you make a good point though. If you hit like a turn 1 Soul Ring, and let's say you're really lucky, turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Signet, turn 3 Throne of Eldraine, turn 4 Elishnor, turn 5 draw 3 cards for 3 or 2 cards for 3. Gross. It's a cool one, but again, I'm not even looking at it for its add 4 ability. Its add 4 ability is great. It does some wonderful stuff. But that draw 2 cards at 3 mana is really good in every deck. There's no downside to run that.
no, especially if you're in like a mono green with Seaborn.
Let's say you're
Every
in a
turn.
5-color deck that's Kenrith and you just choose green because green's your biggest ramp color. There's no downside to 3 to draw 2. That's really good as a tap.
Yep.
Oh, and the artwork's really cool looking.
There's no king. You die.
Yeah, right?
Is this Timber Paladin a reprint?
Nope.
Nope.
It's a menace is what it is.
Oh. Please, Slothy.
Yeah. So yeah, Timber Paladin, 1 and a green for a 1/1 artifact creature knight. As long as Timber Paladin is enchanted by exactly 1 aura, it has base power and toughness 3/3. As long as it is enchanted by exactly 2 auras, it has base power and toughness 5/5 and vigilance. And as long as it's enchanted by 3 or more auras, it has base power and toughness 10/10, vigilance, and trample.
Yep. That's pretty good.
It's gracious.
I would agree with the menace or the nuisance.
That's pretty insane.
That is wow.
What is this madness?
And hey, you can sacrifice this and it counts for 2 off on Corvold.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right. I think is Timely Ward a reprint or no?
Timely Ward is a reprint.
Just to get new artwork on it?
No, that one looks pretty similar at
Oh,
least.
could be. I could be very wrong.
Well, I assume this unfinished business.
Yeah, take it away. I really like this one, and you'll love the flavor text too.
So we got unfinished business. 3 and 2 white sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then return up to 2 target aura and or equipment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that creature. My story ends when I say so. And that's maybe I could see this card being expensive too. I could see it being used in so many decks,
It's
or at
pretty
least
cool, right?
well wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
For any Voltron deck, this is I get basically 3 cards from my graveyard
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
in white.
I like it a lot. Do we want to end it there? Do we want to just go right into the next part of it and just do do it that way. What do you guys want to do here?
That works for me.
Just keep it going?
If we want to end it and cut on over to the other ones, we're good.
There is an Ancestral Mask reprint too.
That's cool. I love Ancestral Mask. Yeah, I was scrolling through the rest of like the commons, uncommons there. These look like really nice decks.
Yeah, I'm really happy with
Canvas Transformation.
Yep. I'm really happy with seeing the Umbras being reprinted because those are so hard to get. And the Generous Gifts, Fel Warstones. I'm just really enjoying seeing the ramp that's in these decks.
I really like the
we got Talismans.
I really like the new artwork on this Distant Melody with the like talking about the Zalfir stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
I really like it. Even before Teferi heard Ren's call, a few Zalfirians were roused from sleep by a strange otherworldly song. I really, really like that reprint a lot.
Roused, you say?
Yeah, these are, like I said, these look like pretty good out of the box commanders.
Oh, come on, Dad. You need to chuckle at that one.
I didn't hear it. I missed something.
I said aroused, you say?
Oh, okay. Yes. No, anyways, okay, well, I'll end there for this one, and then we'll go into our next one here.
You had to be there.
Yeah, quick outro for this one. Thanks, everyone, for getting through here. If you want to chat more about how we're going to build this stuff, get over on Patreon, because I'm going to be building a ton of this new stuff. It's going to be a great time. See how everyone else is going to build their things, because it's a great spot to chat and build decks. Like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you for getting to the episode. All our content is on into99.com. Blah, 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 blah. You guys get it. And yeah, check out the articles that have been coming out, because they're really, really cool. I think we've got a few new ones in the works from Thunder. So definitely check those out, and we will chat later, I guess.
September.
Yeah. A quick short episode. Yeah.
I was going to say, make sure to remember face-to-face event, if you're in Calgary area, September 29th to October 1st.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Come out and play. I'm going to have a lot of decks by then. And to be honest, looking at this set, a lot of new ones too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And that is it for now. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
See ya.